What's up everybody, welcome to Tech Savvy Buyer. So today we're going to take a close look at the Sudio Fem, but first let's get a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by GVGMall.com. GVG Mall carries a wide variety of game currencies and gift cards that you could use to take your gaming to the next level. If you're looking for a fresh copy of Windows or Microsoft Office, then you can certainly find those on GVGMall.com as well. They are priced very competitively and offer legit copies of Microsoft software. You can pick up a copy of Windows 10 Pro for under 15 bucks. Visit GVGMall.com for more information and use code TSB to save during checkout. So welcome back guys. Now in a world full of headphones, I mean literally full of different types of headphones, ever since the AirPods came out, wireless earbuds have just become a very common phenomenon and every single person just seems to want to get a different type of earbud. And with so many options out there, it can become really challenging and really confusing as to what you want to get for yourself or what you want to get for somebody that you care about. So I'm going to help simplify that process for you guys. Today we're going to talk about the Sudio Fem. And no, Fem does not mean feminine, but more or less it stands for 5 because this is made by a Swedish manufacturer called Sudio. Now, if you guys have watched my channel before, you've known that I've reviewed the Sudio 12. Now, the 12 was a good pair of headphones in its respect on its own. However, the Fem brings a number of improvements that are very welcome additions. And overall, the main thing that matters the most is the sound quality, which I have to say, guys, is fantastic on these pair of earbuds. Now, this retails for $139, but I will have a code down in the link below for you to save 15%, bringing it down to a little bit more of a reasonable price. And thinking about the price range, guys, you have a lot of competition in this range. So what would really set this apart? So now let's talk about the most obvious before we dive into sound quality and some of the other nitpick features about this that make it pretty cool. What do you guys really see here? This isn't your average pair of earbuds. And looking at the design and the way this thing is manufactured, it really just speaks quality all in of itself. The way that they have these leather straps kind of reminds you of some of those old school type of designer equipment or designer accessories that you get that have these type of things. I've really never seen any type of other headphones that have a strap like this. You'll usually see like spandex material or some kind of nylon material, but you will not see leather straps. And this has been true with Sudios since they started off with their earbuds. So even on the 12, they included this specific strap. And it just gives it a very cute look, shall I say, that sets it apart from its competition. So really what I think that Sudio is focusing on is making headphones for a market of people who are looking for excellent sound quality at a pretty decent price, along with not being embarrassed to pull out something that's not a Galaxy Bud or that's not a Apple AirPod. Now you can buy a ton of different earphones out there or earbuds out there, but none of them really look as flashy or as nice and unique as this. See, I wouldn't be ashamed of putting this next to a wallet that's nicely branded as well, because it does speak that it's, you know, very high quality, and especially being that it is from Sweden, these headphones definitely do speak of quality. So enough about the design quality and how good it looks. Let's talk about what you get inside the box. So inside the box, you actually get the set of headphones. You get a little box of accessories that comes with 4 different sizes for ear tips, as well as a USB-C charge cable. Now that's a welcome addition. Like I mentioned, now this charges with USB Type-C, which means that it probably is going to be used with your latest Android smartphone that you have a charger or available at your disposal and you don't have to fish around for a different type of cable. In addition to that, these are now IPX5 water resistant, which means you can go work out with these. You can actually listen to these when it's raining outside. The only thing you can't do with them is go swimming or submerge them in water in a shower or something like that. So you're pretty much covered if you're going to be working out and doing, you know, any kind of activity that involves a little bit more perspiration or a little bit more moisture in your area. Your headphones are not going to go bad, so that pretty much covers that aspect for you. In addition, now they've included 4 microphones inside this, and they're really emphasizing on their clear voice technology. And what that really means is that when you're using this on a Bluetooth phone call, people who are on the other end of the line will be able to hear you very clearly, even with noise around you. They actually have ambient noise reduction as part of this kit. So it's actually very nice how they've put all these different features in that set it apart from others. Now, again, at $139, you'd probably expect at the minimum that you're getting these level of features because realistically, you're competing with Galaxy Buds on that aspect. However, I would take these over a pair of Galaxy Buds any day, guys, very honestly, just because they look so much more nicer and they're packaged a lot nicer. If I was to pull this out of my pocket and put it on a table if I'm at a fancy dinner or somewhere, or at just a normal place where people can see what I'm using, I wouldn't be ashamed of pulling this out of my pocket as opposed to pulling out a pair of $50 earbuds that came from China or manufactured in China that I probably bought off of Amazon. So it's definitely worth keeping that in mind. Now, in terms of audio quality, there's definitely a massive improvement over the quality of these compared to the 12. Now, this isn't naturally their evolution of the 12 and now it's the Fem, but it still makes a pretty difference, or a significant difference, shall I say, in how the sound quality overall is. And the sound quality is not just good, but the overall fit of this is super snug. The way that it's designed is it's contoured to fit in the inside of your ear canal, unlike their previous earbuds, which were just pretty much like normal, plop it in, and if it falls, it falls. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This one, they made a little bit more of a very ergonomical fit that feels comfortable, and it actually does a pretty good job at stopping outside noise from getting into your ear. Even while I'm wearing this and talking to you guys, it kind of feels weird because I can hear myself. But overall, that's the point. This thing really blocks off noise and does good noise isolation, and in fact, it sounds really good. Now, the only minor complaint that I would have with these is that when you're using this to listen to music at low volumes or any kind of audio at really low volumes, the sound quality can be a little bit muffled, and that's because the way that they've kind of tuned this is by keeping the frequency of the bass a little bit higher than the mids. So what that means is if you really want to enjoy the potential of this, you had to listen to this when it's more at a medium to a high volume, and that's purely based on the sound profile that they have on these headphones. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't hear anything at low volumes at all. There's just more clarity at higher volumes, which gives it a lot more oomph. There's a lot more bass in this than their previous headphones as well, and I'm not sure if that's just because it makes a nice ear-tight insulation when you plug it into your ear, or if that's just actually the profile of this headphone. But nonetheless, it's a welcome addition compared to its previous headphone lineup. Now, if you want to pick these up, guys, they do come in different colors. You can pick them up in pink, blue, black, or white. So you've got several options to find the right color that suits your style. Now, not just the sound quality is good and all the other features I covered, I did want to touch on what kind of touch interactions you have with this. With this headphone, you can actually control a lot of things. So you can play, pause your music directly from the actual earbud. You're able to raise the volume, you're able to forward a song, you're able to go back to a previous song, lower the volume, and you can even access your smart assistant, whether you're using this with an iPhone or an Android, just by long pressing it. And of course, you can power them off directly. Speaking of powering them off and on, these guys come with 6 hours per earbud of a charge, and that's a pretty decent amount of time if you're going to be listening to the earbud. So each one of them can be used individually as well. You don't have to have both in at the same time. You can use them either in your right ear alone, or you can use it in the left ear. So essentially, you can maximize it to 12 hours, I guess, if you want to use them one at a time. Now, if you do happen to run out of power, the charging case can charge this headphone up to 2 times with a full power charge. If somehow magically you ran out of charge on all of these things, you'd be happy to know that you can give it a quick charge of 15 minutes and get about an hour of playback of music through both earbuds, which is pretty significant. Full charge would take 90 minutes, and that gives you both the case and the actual headphones fully charged. That way you have everything ready to go when you are ready to go. The only other addition that I'd say that they could have done on this, and a couple other YouTubers have pointed this out as well, is to include Qi charging inside this. Now, for me, that's really not a big deal breaker. As it sits, it's hard enough to have a bunch of wireless chargers anywhere and everywhere, unless you have a phone that actually supports PowerShare, such as the Galaxy Note 10. But in the event that you don't have a wireless charger, or you don't have the option, it's really not a deal breaker. But at the price point, I think it would have been a good idea. So is this thing worth $139? Guys, I'll let you decide that. Personally, I think it is, just based on the fact that it's got this wow factor in its overall design, and the sound quality definitely suits it. It's not by any means cheaply manufactured. It does not feel like you bought this off of a Chinese retailer on eBay or Amazon. It definitely feels quality, and it's going to leave your neighbors and your friends and acquaintances wondering, what brand is that that's not an AirPod and that's not a Galaxy Bud? And guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys want to pick this up. If you do, I'll leave links in the description below for you guys to check it out. Of course, if you do decide to pick it up, don't forget to use that code that's in the description so you can save an extra 15% off. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more.